What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey, and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. And before I start this video, I would like to say, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, and do your own DD. I think the Hedgies are watching me, guys. It's scary. I'm telling you, man. I think they're watching my channel. I think they're listening to me. And they're controlling the stock off of what I say. It seems to me like after I drew this line up earlier today, right at that intersection, it dumped off. So, if anybody's unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, on Twitter this morning, tossed out this tweet. It was 12:40 in the afternoon my time, so it wasn't really this morning. If we can hold this trend line, we can easily finish in the green. If more buying volume steps in, then I think 465 could be seen again today. I drew this line out at 4:30 there all the way through. This is the 15-minute chart, guys. So it doesn't look exactly how it would look on the 1 minute, but the line never changed. Go back to the chart. This thing broke down after it touched the line. I think they're watching me, guys. They're like, Smokey, watch this. It's not going to 465. It's going to 435. We're going to go the other direction. Wow. Scary. Anyway, so today we opened up the day at $4.42. We hit a high of $4.65, a low of $4.32, and closed the day out at $4.35, finishing down 3.33% on the day. And we did all of that on a very, very small call it less than $0.5 million in volume. In fact, it's about $5.25 million in volume. Now, I have said this time and time again. We cannot expect to see the stock go soaring through the roof if we don't have people buying the stock. You have to buy the stock in order to see it go through the roof. And 5 million in volume is not buying the stock. That was minor day trading, I would say, at best throughout most of the day. So let's talk about this very first run-up. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This was absolutely some short coverage. What has happened is they have gotten it down to a level that they feel comfortable that they can cover it at. They are still very profitable. More than likely, these are the shorts that started shorting it from that $6.55 level. They brought it all the way down to here, and now they're going to cover it a little bit. So they covered some of their position. Now, don't think that this is a very large amount of covering. It wasn't. This could have been just a few million. In fact, let's look at the chart here. Let's see how many, what the volume was right here. 1.1 million in volume in that first hour candle. So again, that wasn't like a whole boatload of coverage from shorts or anything like that, but that is what that was. That was a short coverage event. And then they dumped it right back off, okay? Dumped it down pretty good, pretty hard. Now, we bounced. We bounced pretty well for a couple of times throughout the day before we traded sideways for the vast majority of the rest of the day. Again, my line showed up right here, and the shorts just took over and dumped it through the rest of the day. Not much else we could talk about. You can't expect a lot of movement in the stock when there isn't anything to go off of. You know, we're waiting on the new Q10 to come out next month. We're looking for some type of PR. And when I say PR, I don't mean, and I've said this a million times over, George coming out and saying, you know, that nanotech is this, or, you know, these retweets that we get. That's not PR. That is just a guy out there putting out some really cool information to the community, and he wants to keep people updated. That's all that is. He's trying to keep people informed and keep them interested. Not PR. These interviews that he does, not PR. In fact, AWE, not PR. These are all events that just happen. And I would hate for people to expect for the stock to be running like crazy on just events. They're just events, guys. Yes, they're unveiling cool tech and they're talking to people. They're trying to lock up these contracts. But like we've seen, in fact, here, I'll pull this up for you right here. Many have a strange concept of how businesses work, especially regarding PR on business deals. When you buy your new car, do you not get a list of suppliers whose products went in that car? This isn't Facebook, especially when it involves new tech. Businesses are secretive so others don't steal their ideas. Unless it is very advantageous to both parties, you will never know. If Tesla uses our films, it would be highly advantageous to Mmat if the deal was public. It is not advantageous to Tesla. Elon does not want competitors to know where and what products he manufactures with. Many deals are going to be non-disclosure. Mmat's dealings with Lockheed Martin at Halifax Airport would go beyond that to actually being highly classified. Please stop begging for PR. That's not how business works. That's not how business works by demanding. Know what you buy and trust the process if you do. There is rarely instant gratification on the stock market. And that is absolutely such true words. In fact, I don't know who exactly wrote that, but Mina Desk is the one who shared that. And that is, I mean, it couldn't have been worded any better. Now, I did retweet this, yesterday? And I see a lot of people did see it. But I know a lot more people are going to see that now. And it is so absolutely important that people know this simple fact. It doesn't work that way, guys. The PR is going to come. But you can't expect for them to just go throwing out all of this information of these companies that we're getting contracts with, because as we've seen before, we have government contracts. Do you think the U.S. military or the Canadian government is going to go saying, hey, we're using this film so that way Al-Qaeda can not, blast us in the face with their lasers from the ground? Nope. No, not at all. That's not what they're going to say. So that is one thing I did want to cover. A lot of people are saying, hey, George, come out with something, say something. He can't. He can't, guys. The best thing I can say is just keep waiting on the financials. The quarterly financials will give you a lot of information. It won't specifically say anything about contracts, but it will tell you, what kind of revenue we've had, what kind of year-over-year growth we've had. So that's what we're ultimately waiting for, is financials. And then, of course, if something does happen to come up where we could toss it out there, say the glucose rise gets an FDA approval or something like that, that will absolutely be a catalyst. That's a catalyst, guys. FDA approval, big government contracts that can be confirmed, like when Nanotech got the government contract. Those are confirmable contracts, okay? Those are the things that are confirmable, and those are PRs. That's catalysts. So that's what we're waiting on. So everybody just relax, calm down. It's coming. Know what you hold. Know what you own. We have been at this, and it's still a battle. We've been at this for a while, okay? So that's all I'm going to cover on that. As far as it goes with that, overall, the market was red. So do expect for a pullback. I do know right around that same exact time we saw the pullback on Meta, the overall market took pullbacks. In fact, if we go right over to the home page, it shows you that up here on the top. Shows you, boom, 2 p.m. Look at that drop. Look at that drop. Look at that drop. Every single one of them at the exact same time. All right, so let's go ahead and move on into Ortex. All right, so here we are. This morning I was actually able to get that morning report out for you, like I try to always do. Utilization sitting at 92%. Cost to borrow is at 5.23%. The days to cover is at 2.62 days. Shares on loan is 41.33 million, and the free float on loan is 29.95. All this data here doesn't change, but every bi-weekly, roughly. And it just happened not too long ago, which is the explanation on why a lot of this information changed, except for this one right here. So the free float on loan, and the reason why this has changed so much, both of these really have changed so much, is because we've noticed that there has been a float discrepancy and change. It wasn't so much a discrepancy, but a change, because these MMAX holders are now coming in and buying up all of our stock. Big ones are. So that's going to create a free float change, and of course is going to create all of those numbers to be different, which is great. That's always a good thing for us. That's awesome when the numbers move into our favor. Now, let's talk about this down here. So it does look like they had a little bit of a return today. Like I did say earlier, we did see some of these shorts cover, but it wasn't like this crazy astronomical amount. It was the short-term shorts that we've seen in the last few weeks that probably shorted it from that 655 level down. There was about a 2% return, showing that they did borrow 2.38 million and return 3.2 million. It's almost flat on the day. 1 million overall return shares. And I did say that was roughly about 1 million right there, right? Makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it? Okay. So, showing the current estimated short interest is at 20.13 million, and that is 14.5% of the free float, which is, pretty close to what you got right there. And remember, this is estimated, guys. That's one thing you always need to remember. All of this data, may it be live, is estimated. This is estimated right here. It says it too. Estimated. Okay? Because they don't know any exact numbers until the NASDAQ gives them the numbers. So it's estimated. Anyhow, let's pull this guy up here. Let's see how long the shorts are on loan. As of October 26th, they're at 24.45 days. That's the average number of days they have been on loan. Move on to Fintel. So here we are at Fintel. Short squeeze scores currently sit at 74.29 out of 100. That is 459th out of 5,500 stocks. They are currently showing, let's hit refresh, see if that changed any. Nope. They are currently showing 950,000 shares available to be lent out for shorting from a leading prime brokerage. Now, let's talk about this real quick. Yesterday, they had 1.8 million shares available. This was at the end of the day, right there, okay? They borrowed a whole bunch, returned a bunch, borrowed a bunch, and returned a bunch. Again, this is just one leading prime brokerage, but still showing that they've already consumed over half of those almost 2 million shares that I have said before. We are bouncing in between 0 and 2 million shares available. They consumed those almost immediately. First thing in the morning. Boom, gone. Soaked them up out. And again, like I said, just return them. And when they return shares, it doesn't mean that they're always shorted shares. It just means they're returning shares. I've said that a million times as well. But in case anybody here is new, I want to make sure that's abundantly clear that just because you see on Ortex, because they're the ones who give the really good data on that, just because you see them returning shares, it does not always mean that they are shorted shares. 3.2 million shares were not returned short today. 3.2 million shares were returned today. Okay? Doesn't mean they were shorted shares, just means they were shares that are lented out. That were lented. Listen to me. I was hanging out with my 12-year-old. We're talking similar today. He doesn't talk like that. Anyway, short borrow fee rate, 2.84%. Let's go down here. So here we are. Notice the numbers did drop off a little bit for the last couple of days as far as shorts go, and it wasn't major down days. They were basically flat overall. But today we had more of a down day, and the short stepped in a little bit heavier. They created that down day. So again, that backs up my theory that it's not that we're selling the stock. We're diamond hand apes, guys. And if you don't identify as a diamond hand ape, you're a diamond hand unicorn or a diamond hand butterfly, whatever the hell you want to be. I don't care, but you're diamond hands. Okay? And we're not selling the stock. The shorts are fighting us to keep this thing alive. That's what's happening. We're not selling. We're battling the short positions. This is an ongoing fight, and we're going to keep fighting the good fight until we win. I mean, well, let me rephrase it. We've already won. We have won. The shorts have got to pay. Torch shorts got to pay. The new shorts are going to have to pay. We've already won. We're just going to have to keep the fight going until we're done one. All right. Last thing I want to talk about on here. All right, so here we are at the buyers category, which we talk about this category a lot. Now, I've said it before that we were expecting this to start kicking back in, starting to come back into play. Every so many weeks, or I should say months, really, they have to make sure that they're filing the proper filings through the SEC, and and that's all these investors. So anytime you see a new position, that means they could have bought this stock anytime before this date, which the filing date was today, or 90 days before that. They have so much time that they have to actually put that on the books with the SEC, which really isn't fair to any of us because we don't know who's actually buying and selling the stock until long after the position has been opened or closed. So the one thing I want to concentrate on, since we haven't covered a whole lot of these lately, is these guys right here. So Cutler Group, they added more calls. They have been with us for a while, and they're very bullish on the stock. They would equal out to be 484,000 shares on their calls in total. This isn't a new position. It's just what they are currently showing what it would be. So they've added some calls. And then here we've got BlackRock. Grand total of the 165,704 shares, new position. This is on their small cap core fund institutional shares. Now, if you look at this here, it says click for advisory. That means that there is many of these showing up. BlackRock has many different funds. And if you look over here, right here, see, right down here, there's 2 more BlackRocks. If you were to click these, it would say these are not going to be double counted. And basically what that means is anytime you find the highest number on your BlackRock funds, that is what is going to be the total number. All right, so I don't think it's this. I'm pretty sure BlackRock's got a little bit higher of a position, but it's just showing that they opened up a new position in this fund. And I've also talked about before what that is. All of these market makers and these big index funds and things like that, they have multiple little funds underneath them. So that way they can take all of those beautiful FTDs that they get and all of those little problems that they want to sweep underneath the rug. They can do that. They can sweep them right underneath the rug of other funds that they control, but it kind of goes away. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And the other thing I want to talk about is this guy right here. So here's what's really interesting. This isn't your standard new fund. Clicked on Torchlight, guys. Look at that. There's a little over 500,000 shares there, right around 700,000 shares. That is your preferred dividend shares. You're looking at it right, guys. This is the preferred shares. The Mmtlp was put on the OTC. It is not, and I repeat, not a legit trading platform. The OTC is unregulated. It is a place for brokers to have broker-to-broker trading. And we can trade on the OTC too. So what happened was one of these brokers said, hey, we're gonna let go of some of these shares. We don't need them. We don't want them. We're gonna sell them. Right? Now, don't think that these are your shares that they sold. But you could have bought them. These were their shares. They don't think that there's any value in the land. They just wanted to offload them. They wanted to get their money now. Notice it strategically dropped at $3 twice. And it has not come back since. I pre-warned everybody that this was going to happen. I also said that Fidelity has a hand in this. Fidelity had a hand in this. I'm telling you guys, I called all this crap out. There's those preferred shares that needed to be switched hands. A broker needed to get rid of some shares and a broker wanted to buy some shares. Anybody who got in on those shares, good for you. I'm glad. I got 60 of them. I mean, I wanted to see what it was about too. But then I steered clear because I was a little unsure. I'm that kind of guy. Anyway, this is getting really long, and I got some really cool information I want to share with you guys. We'll crack into more of this later. This is a weekend video. I like to do my speculative stuff on Saturdays and Sundays. So let's go ahead and talk about the cool stuff I wanted to talk about. Alright guys, so here's that really, really cool information I want to share with you. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, you get to hear it first. So, here we go. I wound up getting my tickets to everything. My entire trip is planned. On November the 9th, I'm going to be heading out of Cleveland International Airport, headed straight to San Jose. I do have a layover in Dallas, but it's only for about an hour. We're going to be staying at the Embassy Suites for 2 nights, 3 days. Here they got a really nice pool. And I'll be heading out again at 10:50 p.m. on Thursday night, so I can come back home. And this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. Now, the next picture I'm going to show you right here is my ticket. And I blurred out all of the information that I don't want anybody else to know because I don't want anybody to steal my identity and go to this thing on my behalf. So, here is my AWE ticket. This is my confirmation numbers and all that other good stuff. This is actually a one of those little QR codes. That's how you get in. So it's kind of like coded to you. My name and everything's on here. So that was super exciting. Got one for me and one for my son. But here's the next thing. This next thing is super, super cool. I applied for the press pass. I got it. I freaking got it. I don't know how I got it. I'm just a lonely little YouTuber. I've got 3,200 subscribers. Nothing major, guys. I only talk about meta, and I talk with all of my closest friends. So somehow, some way, somebody thought that I was qualified enough to get a press pass. So I honestly don't know if I actually even need those tickets that I bought, because I don't know anything about a press pass. But we're gonna find out, I guess. So I do have an email out there to get a little bit more information on this, since I've never gotten one before. And this is going to be cool. Let me read this email to you so that way you can see it. Good afternoon to you from a still drying out San Francisco. This rest of the sentence is just basically BSing with me. Crippling mega drought aside, allow me the pleasure of noting this is an official communique from me that you have obtained a state of permanent grace in my eyes, and as such I am authorizing a press pass for AWE on your behalf. All you would need to do is go to the special, and it just tells me how to do it and blah, blah, blah. That is absolutely awesome, guys. I am super honored that I've even hit that level to be able to say that I got a press pass. So, yes, we're going to AWE. We're going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be waving to everybody. If you can't see me, like right away, I'll be waving at all the cameras. I'll have my camera up. I've got selfie sticks. I've got, all kinds of cool gadgetry that we're going to be trying out. My son's super pumped up. He wants to be the cameraman so bad. So, here we go, guys. AWE, here we come. Yeah. So, with that being said, like, subscribe, make sure you do what you got to do, comment for the algorithm. If you liked my video, make sure you pass this along to your friends and family. If you didn't like my video, let me know and tell me what I did wrong. I'm a humble man, and I can always absolutely take a little bit of criticism. So with that being said, until we talk again, peace.